Happy holidays and all that stuff. Boom. Here we go. Look at it, mate. There's the old Nikon D3. Toughest camera, digital camera, ever made. Period. Nobody made a camera before or since. It's like, well, what about the Nikon D4? Nope. I've owned a couple. Still not as tough. D5, definitely not as tough. D5's not as tough as Nikon D4. Toughest digital camera ever made. It's like, well, it's a 12 megapixel camera. Yeah, what's your damn point? Anyway, this video... God, I've drank too much coffee. This video is about, since it's the holidays and cameras come out and things shift as far as best value, and I've owned more cameras than God, I want to make a recommendation. Since I have no affiliate links, I've owned more cameras than the rest of these shills, and I have no affiliate links, therefore I have no money attached to my recommendations. I make logical, intelligent, wise recommendations without any exposure of being considered to have shady motives, since whatever the hell you buy, I'm not making a buck. Best used camera deals. Right now, actually let's start off with a Nikon, then I'll go on to Fujifilm. Right now, the Nikon D3, and I'm always checking prices, it's averaging about $700 and $750 for a used. This is, I still got a couple of these. This is my bad weather camera. I'll slap whatever lens I want to on there and go out with the Nikon D3. Oh my God. I gotta tell you what, now the Nikon, you're going to say, what about the Nikon D700? The D700 is still an extremely high price camera. This has a Panasonic sensor in it, even though it has the same sensor as the Nikon D700. D700 has different output. The D700 is relatively quite high in price. I can't recommend it as a top value right now for recommending a great camera. And there's a different philosophy too. When someone's like, well, that's a 12 megapixel camera, it's an old camera. It's like, do you know how much this damn camera cost when it came out in 2008? This camera still sells hot and heavy, but the prices come down amazingly on the Nikon D3. This camera for $750 is a steal, as long as you don't get one with like more than 140,000 shutter clicks on it. If you stay there or below, then you're fine. I mean, it'll still rock on, even though it's only rated for 300,000 clicks, I believe. It'll still rock on, depending on how you take care of it or the condition it's in. Rock on to 300, 400. I've seen some actually up 700,000 clicks on one shutter mech. They're Teflon coated Kevlar shutter blades, by the way, not that you really care. But anyway, this is my top recommendation for used cameras to purchase, or as a backup camera for, like, I don't want to take my really, really awesome camera out in this crappy way. Get a Nikon D3. If you have an issue with 12 megapixels, now obviously you can't crop much at 12 megapixels. Like, I'm going to shoot that little speckle-breasted woodpecker at 1,000 yards with my 600mm lens, and I'm going to crop it, and it doesn't look too good on the Nikon D3. Yeah, it's not a high croppability camera, but if you're not cropping much, Nikon D3 produced wonderful 20 by 30 prints back in 2008, and it still produces wonderful 20 by 30 prints today. So any notion that you're complaining about it for do you know what the hell $700 will get you in a new camera today? It won't get you crap. It'll get you a piece of junk. There's a different philosophy that you have to consider. It's like, which would I rather have? A new Volkswagen, not that a Volkswagen is all that bad, or for the same amount of money, a used, slightly scratched Rolls Royce. So I could have, for the same money, Rolls Royce or a Volkswagen. Rolls Royce. This is that Rolls Royce. This camera cost an astronomical amount of money in 2008, and it is still utterly valid today. Does it have the incredible high ISO performance of current cameras? No, it does not. So if you're planning on shooting in really grotty, dark conditions, it does not have that high ISO performance that you're going to be expecting out of it. But most of you are not shooting in those conditions. And the D3 is the toughest camera ever made, before or hence, and for $750 it's a steal. On to the next. Nikon D810 is still averaging about $1,500, a little too damn high. Best value currently is a used D800E, 36 megapixel camera, just right underneath the Nikon D810. My buddy over in France, who shoots for all the premier magazines, that's what he shoots with, a pair of Nikon D800Es. Right now it's averaging $1,100. No particular order here. That's what I'm recommending as the top value full frame camera, a step above the Nikon D3. For a DX crop sensor, best value overall, and I never recommend dinky cameras like D5000, D3000 series cameras. I don't talk about that stuff. The used Nikon D70 200 is right now a best deal at $700. Like new condition, factory refurbished, $700 is what it's averaging. 700, 750, same as the Nikon D3. So, top three values on used cameras is the Nikon D70 200, used or refurbed, factory refurb 700. A used Nikon D3 for 700, 750 bucks. Just keep it underneath 140,000 shutter clicks. And a Nikon D800E, averaging right now of $1,100. Basically $1,000 for a really hell of an awesome camera. Just absolutely blow your lacy panties off for $1,100 for architecture, sports, portraiture. Oh, what a camera! What a camera! For new, right now the Nikon D500 is on sale for $1,800, including the grip, which is worth $350, making the camera $1,500. Filming my face right now is a Nikon D500. I still use and carry the Nikon D500, even though I have the Nikon D850. D500 has basically a bottomless buffer. It is one hell of a camera. Right now, that is the best new camera purchase out there right now from Nikon, period. New cameras, what is it? It's Nikon D500. Nikon D500, since it's a crop sensor camera, is not ideal for portraiture and landscape. I didn't say it was no damn good for it. I said it's just less than ideal, for obvious reasons that you should be well aware of. So that's top deal, top recommendation anyway, by me for a new camera from Nikon. Second to that would be at twice as much money, but the Nikon D850, the 46 megapixel essentially Nikon D850, which I have. It's the jack of all trades and the master of all trades. It will do everything. You get the vertical grip for it and the large battery, and you can shoot 9 frames per second. Perfect for everything. It's like, what's the D850 good for? Everything. Sports, action, wildlife, portraiture, architecture, photojournalism, anything and everything. D850. Now, it does not have a bottomless buffer like the Nikon D500. If I were shooting a grotty club scene late at night, something really dark, I'd grab the Nikon D500. Grab for long distance sports and action, I grab the Nikon D500. That buffer is incredibly useful. So that's the second value of best, and of course it's no value. It's not like it's on sale or anything, but it's the one camera that does it all, because everybody's always asking me, not everybody, but a lot of people, you know what, one camera that does it all. It's like, well, if you're working professionally and all, you always need a backup camera. But if there's just one damn camera that does it all, it's the Nikon D850. So, those are recommendations on the Nikon front. As far as the Fujifilm front, best value is a Fujifilm X100T used. The only thing it's missing relative to the X100F is a joystick and a faster autofocus. It has the exact same lens. It's a leaf shutter camera, by the way, so an X100T used off of eBay. Second to that would be like a used XT1, which right now I think they're averaging, God, you can get a used XT1 really cheap. I still got a couple XT1s, yeah, believe it or not. They're averaging $500, $550 on eBay. Great used condition. Credible value, 500 plus bucks for a used XT1. And right now there's several a lot of Fujifilm lenses are on sale right now for the holidays. Those are my two recommendations for used Fujifilm cameras. As far as best value, and that of course is my favorite camera of all time, period. And it's right here. The Fuji Film Xtt2, best value, new recommendation. Fujifilm camera is the Xt2, unquestionably so. Got a couple of them, which I don't need a couple of them, but do got a couple. I wish one of them was silver. Anyway, top recommendation for a new Fujifilm camera. Not the X Pro 2. I know a lot of people love the X Pro 2. I owned one for several months. I'm just not a big fan of rangefinder style cameras and the small little viewfinder since I wear glasses. So that's a very subjective and personal preference. Also, the X Pro 2 does not get the firmware updates typically that the Xt2 does. And I'm a total vertical grip slut. And the X Pro 2 has no capacity for a vertical grip. So those recommendations for this basically December or the end of year for 2018 on the Nikon and Fuji Film Front, both used and new. So recap: new Nikon D500, Nikon D850, D500 right now #1 best value new camera, since it's basically going for $1,500, $300 for the grip. So it's you got to buy it all together, package deal, $1,800. That's best value for Nikon and best value for Fujifilm. And Fujifilm has some deals right now too. I can't remember what the value, what it is. I think you get the vertical grip for the same price as the camera. Someone will correct me. Best value new camera from Fujifilm is definitely the X-T2, but I think there's also a deal going on where you buy the camera and you get the vertical grip for free. It's some sort of deal like that. Either that or you get a lens and the grip. I can't remember the exact price, but I know there's a deal going on with the X-T2 and the vertical grip. Used cameras, X-T1 and X100T from Fujifilm, and used from Nikon would be a D3, a D800E, and the Nikon D70-200. $700 basically on both the D70-200 and Nikon D3, and $1,100 on the used D800E Nikon. Used with don't pay $1,100 and buy one with more than like 60,000 clicks on the shutter mech. There you go. I hope you like this video. If you do, you click the link below, make a small donation. Tell me to jump off a cliff, because I have no affiliate links, and I have both the experience, and I've been fixing cameras and lenses for 20 years, and I'm not a paid shill or schmuck like the rest of these channels, which they are. It's like, well, is that being a little rude? It might be, but it's still truthful. You know, you can be both rude and truthful at the same time. Isn't it interesting how that works? Like, you're rude. It's like, yeah, but am I right? I'd rather be right and disliked than liked and wrong. Do you know how many people out there are blowing smoke up your ass and trying to be nice to you, you know, and yet they don't give a damn about you. They're just all about the money. Money! Click affiliate link below. Yeah, I love you. Whatever you ever heard of that saying? I'd rather be right and hated than liked and wrong, or a liar. Wrong, yeah. Yeah. Completely different moral paradigm. And I don't care about morality. I care about being actually helpful. Actually, the people that I despise the most are the people that talk about... You ever notice this? The people that talk about morality the most are behind closed doors the most rude, horrible, and immoral people you'll ever meet. The more someone talks about something, especially compassion. Oh, my favorite one is compassionate. People always talk about being compassionate and helping out the poor and the homeless. I swear, the most uncompassionate people, the ones that will just like drive over your bleeding corpse, are the people that talk about the compassion most. The more someone talks about being kind and compassionate, the more I am absolutely convinced that in real life, or when when the rubber hits the road, they are the most uncompassionate and caring people. Logic and much evidence has shown that to be the case. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays! Go get stuffed on turkey, get constipated, drink some X-Lax, and then start it over again the next day. Goodbye.